number 13. Now in this lesson, you will learn most basic things and even the certain advanced parts of the decimal lesson. Right. So first of all, I introduced to you what is this decimal means. So simply I can tell you with powers of 10, if I start, it's easy for you. Right. If I take a figure, listen very carefully. If I take a figure and I cut this figure into 10 equal parts now. I cut this figure into 10 equal parts. Now, from this 10 equal parts, as we learned in fractions lesson, I'm going to shade only one portion. Now, you know that how to represent this as a fractions, because in the lesson fractions, we learned that how to represent a shaded portion as a fraction. So, since here there are 10 parts, I can write down the denominator is 10. And only one part is shaded. So I can write down 1 out of 10 is shaded. Now this is the fraction. But this fraction can be written in another way, which we call as decimal. Now, fractional form can be converted into the decimal form. Listen carefully now. Fractional form is 1 over 10. Decimal form I can write down in this way. Listen very carefully. This 1 over 10 means you are dividing 1 by 10. But what am I doing here? A small trick for you. 10 powers of 10 can easily converted to decimal. You can see here only 1 0 is present here. So what am I doing? My numerator, I am writing it here. For that numerator, since only 1 0 present here, usually in a whole number, decimals are always after the main number. I taught this part in your time lesson also. In a whole number, decimal is after the whole number. That means in my number 1, my decimal is here. That decimal, since this is a division, I am carrying it 1 time to the left hand side. Why did I carry it to left hand side? Because it is division. Why did I carry it only 1 time? Because only 1 0. Now this decimal is coming to here. Now here no decimal. When this is kept like this, it is called as 0.1. Before this point, we put a 0. So now what am I telling you? This is number 10. Number 10 has 1 0. So after the decimal point, you should have only one number, only one decimal place. So the answer for 1 over 10 is 0.1. We read it as 0. Now we'll see another example. I'm going to take a fraction with the whole number 2 and it is 2 over 10. 2 over 10. How can we write this as a decimal? So in this case, 2 is our numerator. So I'm writing my numerator here. I told you whole number decimals are here. I'm taking only 1 time backward. Decimal comes here. Now the answer is 0.2. We read it as 0.2. Right? So this is the way of representing a given number as a fraction of 10 into a decimal. We are converting a fraction with this denominator 10 into a decimal. So try to do these things in your own now and write them in the decimal format. Here in these two examples also the similar way. I'm writing the whole number decimal here, moving it to here 0.3. Here writing the whole number decimal here, moving it to left hand side 0.9. So these are the ways of writing your answer in the decimal format when they are given as fraction. But just imagine you are given 2 numbers, right? 2 numbers, for example, 12 over 10, 15 over 10, 19 over 10. Now look at the board. 12 is my numerator. I write it. It is a whole number. I write my decimal point here. Now for this 12, decimal point is there. I can carry only 1 time to the left hand side. So what I do? Okay, 1 time means in between 1 and 2. That means it is 1.2. So similarly, just try yourself these questions. And so the first one, 1.2, I told you. Second one, 15, you write down decimal here, moving 1 time, you are getting 1.5. Here 19, Decimal here, moving one time, 1.9. So when you are given 2-digit numbers or 3-digit numbers or 4-digit numbers, whatever the number of digits, if you are dividing it by whole number 10, if your denominator is 10, you should move your decimal one time to the left-hand side. That's all you have to. Now, in whole numbers, you have place values. If I take a number 1352, you know that this is the units place, tens place, hundreds place, and thousands place. But in decimals, if I take 0.5, 0.5, only one decimal place is there. So I can now write down this one. This number 5 is called as the first decimal place. So after the decimal point, the first number is having the first decimal place. And the value of that one is digit in the first decimal place. And this first decimal place is separated from the ones place. This is called as ones place. So this first decimal place is separate from ones place from a point. And that point is called as the decimal point. We call it as the decimal point. And if I take another example, 0.25, you can only to 0. We'll take 1.25. This is the ones place here also. And after decimal point, you have two numbers. The first number is called as the first decimal place. And second number is called as the second decimal place. So this is the way that the place value comes for decimal numbers. Right? Is that clear? Yes. So after this, we have to learn how to represent a given decimal number in an abacus. Now listen carefully. This is also easy. If I take this number, you have learned in your grade 5 and lower classes that you can draw an abacus and you can name this thousands, hundreds, tens and units. 1,352. So this is represented in this manner. But for decimals and all, if I want to represent, for example, let's say 2.5, this is a decimal. How can I represent? I told you this is ones and this is called as the tenths. How do we spell that? This is called as the tenths, T-E-N-T-H-S. So I can draw an abacus with two strands and I can name this as ones and this as tens. So in the ones I have 1, 2 beads. In the tens I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we read it as 0.5. 0.5. This is the way of representing a simple decimal on an abacus. So if you have two decimal places, for example, 1.03, let's say 2 decimal places, then how to draw abacus? Abacus is with the 3 strands. Then I can name the abacus. The corner one is anyway the tenths only, right? Tenths. And here you are getting ones. And here you will get as tens, T-E-N-S. This is tens. And this is tenths. This tens is after decimal point. So I can draw the beads. 1 bead here and 0. That means no beads here. And here I can draw 3 beads. So this is the way of representing 2 decimal placed number on an abacus. So now let's see how these 2 decimal place numbers are coming up. Right now look at the board. I told you 1 decimal place is coming because of, like, for example, 2/10. 2 whole number, I can keep a decimal point 0.2, 1 decimal place. But if I write 22 over 100, I can write down here whole number 22. Whole number 22 and my decimal point is here. If I want to place the decimal, I can take 1, 2. Now we are going 2 times to the left hand side and we are getting 0.22. So when I want to teach you in this part, if you have the denominator 100, how do you write down the decimal? Another example, 5 over 100, a single digit over 100. I can write my whole number, decimal point here. I can move twice, 1, 2. Decimal point came here. Now I can write down here 0.05. In this gap, I fill another 0. Now I don't have a decimal here. My answer will be 0.05, where after the decimal point, you have two numbers because you are dividing by 100. But here in this case, first one, after the decimal point, only one number because you divided by 10. In the second one, after the decimal point, you have two numbers. Reason, you divided by 100. So when you have the denominator 100, decimals are like this. You read this decimal as 0.22. We read it as 0.22. We don't read it as 0.22. Here you read it as 0.05. 0.05. So I taught you how to represent these numbers in an abacus when there are two decimal places. So that's over. So now we can move into another example, which is a little bit, more than this, something advanced you are going to learn. Listen carefully first of all. If I take 19.67, now see this number has two numbers before the decimal, two numbers after the decimal. How did this number come? How did it come? Right. Look at this. Without the decimal, if I write, you can see usually real decimal point is behind the number. No? So it has come twice backward. Twice backward means by what number have they divided this? Now, here you can see after the decimal point, two digits are there. So I have to divide this by 100. Let's see whether we can get the answer. Okay, I'm writing my numerator. My decimal is actually here. I move twice backward to the left side. 1, 2. Yes, decimal point comes here. So 19.67. Now look at the board carefully. You have to name these things in a different way, right? Now you know that this is the first decimal place and this is the second decimal place. And you know that the first digit is called as ones place. And this digit is called as the tens place. So you should remember this: tens place, ones place, first decimal place, second decimal place. So if you want to show this on an abacus, I want to draw 4 strands. I have to draw 4 strands and I should name them as here tens, here ones, here the tenths, T-E-N-T-H-S, tenths, and I can write down for the last strand as hundreds, H-U-N-D-R-E-D-T-H-S, hundreds. And then I can put the beads accordingly. Here, this one, and this one, right? So you should remember these names that you are writing for the abacus. And you should remember the place values when you are having this kind of a decimal number. So this is what you have to take down to your note regarding to this topic. So now after this, let's do a small activity. Now I'll draw a table on the board. You try to copy down that table with me and then we'll fill the table, right? So this is the table that you have to complete now. Here you can see numbers, digit, position, and value given. I will give you a particular digit here. Based on that digit, you should write down what is the position of that digit in that number. What is the value represented by that digit in that number, okay? Now here, look at the first one. I'll do it for you. The position, the digit given is number 3. So the position of that digit is from this number, it is in the first decimal place. So I can write down its position as first decimal place. But the value, what is the value represented? I told you first decimal place means the digit has the tenths. Usually in an abacus we put for tenths, right? So we can write down 3 upon 3 divide by 10. If you divide 3 by 10, what is the answer you are getting? 0.3. No? So after decimal point, the first decimal place. So this is 3 upon 10. Look at the second one. Number 8 is given, right? What is the position of the value? So this one, yes, second decimal place. You can see after the decimal point, It is in the second place. So what is the value represented? Right, here the number 8 is in the second decimal place. Second decimal means after decimal point 2 numbers are there. That means it is divided by 100. Value is 8 over 100. 8 over 100, right? Because 8 over 100 means if you write number 8, you are getting 2 decimal places, 0.08. So 8 over 100 is the value. Now I want you to try the rest of the 3 alone. So here, how do we do this now? Okay. 14.65. Number 4. Number 4 is not in the first decimal, not in the second decimal. So that 4 is in the ones place. In the previous note I gave you, it is in the ones place. So we call it as ones place. And the value of that one is, how many ones are there? 4 ones are there. So value is just 4 ones, right? Now this one. Second decimal place. That means this is second decimal place, just like the one we did in the Roman for second part, second question. So here I can write down 9 over 100. Now the last one, this one is in the first decimal place. You can see it very clearly. And here you don't write it as 0 over 10. You're writing it as 1 over 10. But you're getting anyway, final answer is 0. So if you write it as 0 over 10, even no problem. Anyway, whatever the number, like 0, if you are dividing, you are getting back again 0 only. So we don't want to write that. We can write down directly as 0. So here, if you have a doubt, like again, how this 4 ones came, because 14, we read it as 14. 14 means 1 tens and 4 ones, right? So if you get this kind of only these are the possible ways that they can ask you the question. They can ask you about the position of the value. They can ask you the exact value represented by that number. Likewise, these are the possible questions that you can get. Other than this, you can get to represent in an abacus. So let's practice that kind of questions also. So here there are 4 questions for you to represent each of them on an abacus. So draw the abacus yourself, name them in the correct values, place values and the positions, insert the number of beads exactly, and we'll see how you are doing that, right? Try it in your own first. Yes, look at the first one, 0.21, like this. This is ones place, tens, T-E-N-T-H-S, tens. And next we can write down as hundreds. Right? Now, ones, tens, hundreds. Ones is nothing, it's 0.10. In the tens place, I have 2, and hundreds place, I have. Now, in this abacus, ones, 0, tens have 2, hundreds has only 1. Please represent it in this manner, because we can't give ones place here, because ones place is 0 here. Copy down that fast. Now look at the second Roman number, same method only, ones, tens, hundreds. So then I can draw it like this. Ones I have 6, I can draw 6 beads here. For the tens, you draw 7 beads, 7 beads draw. Hundreds, you draw 8 beads. So 6.78. The Roman number 3 is also the same method. I have to draw ones, tens, hundreds, but the number of beads are getting, different. Because here in the ones place, nothing, 0. Tens place, 0. Hundreds place, I have 1. So this is read as 0.01. Now look at the last one, the important one. I have to draw 5 strands. How do you name this? Now look at. Last one is hundreds, H-U-N-D-R-E-D-T-H-S. Before one, tens, T-E-N-T-H-S. Here I can write ones, and this one is tens. This one is hundred, H-U-N-D-R-E-D. Now listen, how did I write down that? Because I'm reading this number, 112. 112 means hundreds place, tens place, ones place. 100 place, tens place, ones place. After decimal point, I know that they are tens and hundreds. So that's how I name this abacus. So in 100, I have 100. So put 1 bead here. 112. So here I'm getting 10, right? So 1, that means 1 tens. Then 12. 2, 2 ones, put 2 beads for this strand. Tenths, 6, put 6 beads here, and 5 for the last hundredths, that is 5 beads. In your next session, we'll discuss about the comparison of decimals, and we'll talk about addition and subtraction of decimals, right? So get ready for the next session. Before that, you have to do all your exercises 13.1 and 13.2.